you very much, Chris. I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we're meeting today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. The Parliamentary Friends of Meals on Wheels is spearheaded by Steve Georgianis and Mark Colton, and we'd like to acknowledge their leadership and help in organising today's events. They worked with the teams both in Meals on Wheels Australia and Meals on Wheels New South Wales to put this event on. And our particular thanks to Milton Dick, who will shortly address the gathering. Okay, so this event is an opportunity for us to inform our colleagues in Parliament of the new things that are happening around Meals on Wheels, and what we see as the challenges at the moment. It provides an opportunity for me as the new independent chair of Meals on Wheels Australia. I say new, somebody just asked me in the lead up to this, started in June, didn't you? You know, that's got to be 9 months or so now. Good grief, the time's flying by. But we've also revamped the board, so we have some independent positions on the board, as well as a representative from each of the state associations. And we provide, as many of you will know, our services through around 590 outlets across the nation. In 21-22 financial year, our services received around $100 million from the Commonwealth Home Support Program, and our users of service contributed another $57 million from their own pockets to our services. And that's because we pass on the cost of the meal directly. And we're, in one sense, already doing what the Aged Care Task Force has asked the wider aged care sector to do in that regard. As the number of people accessing a home care package has substantially increased in the last couple of years, we're also finding that our services are experiencing an increase in income from home care package recipients and their package services, where we're subcontracted to assist to provide meals. It's estimated that Meals on Wheels services currently assist more than 200,000 people in any one year. This event is an opportunity to further connections with the government and parliamentarians, and hopefully, as we're celebrating 70 years of Meals on Wheels in Australia, secure another 70 years. I don't think that's too much to ask. We know that Meals on Wheels services provide vital nutrition and provide a valuable wellbeing check for isolated older people. That is our core reason for being, and it's that twin responsibility, delivering a nutritious meal and checking on the welfare of older people, which is our distinctive contribution to aged care. At a time when traditional community services such as ours are experiencing a drop-off in volunteer support directly linked to the impact of the COVID pandemic, we look forward to engaging with government to help us maintain and grow the important work that we're doing. We want to develop practical, useful, respectful, meaningful relationships with local, state and federal governments, as well as the local communities in which our services operate. Working productively with these key stakeholders and decision makers will help ensure that we're fit for purpose into the future. And as the in-home care system changes, we're ready and enabled to continue to do what we do so well, actually helping older people. As part of the aged care reforms at the moment, a new support at home program is being planned and will come into effect for home care packages from the middle of next year. The government has decided that it needs a little longer to work out how best to integrate the Commonwealth Home Support Program into support at home, and they've set a deadline of 2027 to make that decision about whether to incorporate it directly. That will be a big step because we know that there are over 800,000 older Australians who receive their services through the Commonwealth Home Support Program. We want to ensure that the new support at home system is developed in such a way that it leverages social capital, including volunteer effort, rather than replace it with an artificial market. We plan to work with the Department of Health and Aged Care and the Independent Health and Aged Care Pricing Authority to design, cost and price meals services more accurately as support at home is introduced. This provides a once-in-a-generation opportunity to fix the inconsistency in prices that the government currently pays us around the nation. The new Aged Care Act is due to come into effect this July. It will capture Meals on Wheels services for the first time. The bill is yet to be introduced to Parliament. We're expecting it to be introduced in this session, so very shortly. Meals on Wheels Australia welcomes many aspects of the exposure draft released last year, particularly the recognition of the human rights of older people. We do, though, have major concerns about the application of criminal penalties and really high civil penalties in the draft legislation. These are going to directly affect our volunteers because there's a potential of a penalty of $78,000 for volunteer workers. And if you volunteer to be on the board of a Meals on Wheels service, you may be up for penalties up to $313,000. And the organisation may be up for penalties that exceed that amount. We are worried that penalties of that nature will make older people think twice before volunteering, both for boards and for Meals on Wheels service delivery. Once again, thank you very much for attending today's function. Your support for Meals on Wheels means a lot to all of us. Thank you.